Seen at twilight of the next day. The monkey house at the zoo. One spot of clear gray light falls on the front of one cage so that the interior can be seen. The other cages are vague, shrouded in shadow from which chatterings pitched in a conversational tone can be heard. On the one cage a sign from which the word gorilla stands out. The gigantic animal himself is seen squatting on his haunches on a bench in much the same attitude as Rodin's thinker. Yank enters from the left. Immediately a chorus of angry chattering and screeching breaks out. The gorilla turns his eyes but makes no sound or move. Yank, with a hard, bitter laugh. Welcome to your city, huh? Hail, hail, de gang's all here. At the sound of his voice the chattering dies away into an attentive silence. Yank walks up to the gorilla's cage and, leaning over the railing, stares in at its occupant, who stares back at him, silent and motionless. There is a pause of dead stillness. Then Yank begins to talk in a friendly confidential tone, half mockingly, but with a deep undercurrent of sympathy. Say, you're some hard-looking guy, ain't ya? I seen lots of tough nuts dat de gang called gorillas, but you're de foist real one I ever seen. Some chest you got, and shoulders, and dem arms and mitts. I bet you got a punch and eider fist dat'd knock 'em all silly. This with genuine admiration. The gorilla, as if he understood, stands upright, swelling out his chest and pounding on it with his fist. Yank grins sympathetically. Sure, I get ya. Ya challenged the whole world, huh? Ya got what I was sayin' even if you muffed the woids. Then bitterness creeping in. And why wouldn't ye get me? Ain't we both members of de same club de Hairy Apes? They stare at each other, a pause, then Yank goes on slowly and bitterly. So you re what she seen when she looked at me, de white-faced tart. I was you to her, get me? Annie out of de cage, broke out, free to water her, see? Sure. Dat's what she taught. She wasn't wise dat I was in a cage, too worser in yours, sure a damn sight, 'cause you got some chank to bust loose, but me, he grows confused. Ah, hell. It's all wrong, ain't it? A pause. I suppose you want to know what I'm doing here, huh? I been warmin' a bench down to de battery, ever since last night. Sure. I seen de sun come up. Dat was pretty, too, all red and pink and green. I was lookin' at de skyscrapers, steel, and all de ships comin' in, sailin' out, all over de oith, and dey was steel, too. De sun was warm, dey wasn't no clouds, and dere was a breeze blowin'. Sure, it was great stuff. I got it all right. What Patty said about dat bein' de right dope, Annie, I couldn't get I in it, see? I couldn't belong in dat. It was over my head. And I kept tinkin, and den I beat it up here to see what yous was like. And I waited till day was all gone to get ya alone. Say, how do ya feel sittin' in dat pen all the time, havin' to stand for 'em comin' and starin' at ya de white-faced, skinny tarts and de boobs what marry 'em makin' fun of ya, login at ya, gettin' scared of ya damn 'em. He pounds on the rail with his fist. The gorilla rattles the bars of his cage and snarls. All the other monkeys set up an angry chattering in the darkness. Yank goes on excitedly. Sure. Dat's de way it hits me, too. Annie, you're lucky, see? Ya don't belong wid 'em and ya know it. But me, I belong wid 'em, but I don't, see? Dey don't belong wid me, dat's what. Get me? Tinkin is hard, he passes one hand across his forehead with a painful gesture. The gorilla growls impatiently. Yank goes on gropingly. It's dis way, what I'm drivin' at. Yous can sit in dope dream and de past, greenwoods, de jungle and de rest of it. Den ya belong and dey don't. Den ya kin laugh at 'em, see? Ya re de champ of de world. But me, I ain't got no past to tink in, nor nothin' dat's comin', Annie what's now, and dat don't belong. Sure, you're de best off. Ya can't tink, can ya? Ye can't talk neither. But I can make a bluff at talkin' and tin can amost get away wid it amost, and dat's where de joker comes in. He laughs. I ain't on oath and I ain't in heaven, get me? I'm in de middle tryin' to separate talkin' all de worst punches from bot of Maybe dat's what dey call hell, huh? But you're at de bottom. You belong. Sure. You're de only one in de world dat does, you lucky stiff. The gorilla growls proudly. And dat's why dey gotter put ye in a cage, see? The gorilla roars angrily. Sure. Y'd get me. It beats it when you try to tink it or talk it, it's way down deep behind you and me, we feel it. Sure. Bot members of dis club. He laughs, then in a savage tone. What the hell? Hell with it. A little action, dat's our meat. Dat belongs. Knock down and keep bustin' till they croaks you wid a gat wit steel. Sure. Are ye game? Davy E. looked at yous, ain't dey in a cage? Wanter git even? Wanter wind up like a sport stead of croakin' slow and dear? The gorilla roars an emphatic affirmative. Yank goes on with a sort of furious exultation. Sure. Yuri reglar. You'll stick to de finish. Me and you, bot members of this club. We'll put up one last star bout dat'll knock off in dare seats. Dey'll have to make de cages stronger after we're true. The gorilla is straining at his bars, growling, hopping from one foot to the other. Yank takes a jimmy from under his coat and forces the lock on the cage door. He throws this open. Pardon from de governor. Step out and shake hands. I'll take ya for a walk down Fifth Avenue. We'll knock off in de oath and croak wit de band playin'. Come on, brother. The gorilla scrambles gingerly out of his cage. Goes to Yank and stands looking at him. Yank keeps his mocking tone, holds out his hand. Shake the secret grip of our order. Something, the tone of mockery, perhaps, suddenly enrages the animal. With a spring he wraps his huge arms around Yank in a murderous hug. There is a crackling snap of crushed ribs, a gasping cry, still mocking, from Yank. Hey, I didn't say, kiss me. The gorilla lets the crushed body slip to the floor, stands over it uncertainly, considering, then picks it up, throws it in the cage, shuts the door, and shuffles off menacingly into the darkness it left. A great uproar of frightened chattering and whimpering comes from the other cages. Then Yank moves, groaning, opening his eyes, and there is silence. He mutters painfully. Say dey oughter match him wid Zibsko. He got me, a right. I'm true. Even him didn't tink I belonged. Then, with sudden passionate despair. Christ, where do I get off at? Where do I fit in? Checking himself as suddenly. What the hell? No squakin', see. No quittin', get me. Croak wit your boots on. He grabs hold of the bars of the cage and hauls himself painfully to his feet, looks around him bewilderedly, forces a mocking laugh. In de cage, huh? In the strident tones of a circus barker. Ladies and gents, step forward and take a slant at de one and only, his voice weakening, one and original, Hairy Ape from de wilds of, he slips in a heap on the floor and dies. The monkeys set up a chattering, whimpering wail. And, perhaps, the Hairy Ape at last belongs. Curtain.